The rising cost of food, energy, housing, and medical, many retirees are forced to live below the poverty line. Is this a flaw of free enterprise, or is our monetary unit we call the Federal Reserve Note forcing us into perpetual debt, ensuring inflation and higher taxes? These questions and more can be answered by reading G. Edward Griffin's book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. Congressman Ron Paul states it's what every American needs to know about central bank power. A gripping adventure into the secret world of international banking cartel. Hi, this is Ted Anderson. I will give a silver dollar from the early 1900s to anyone who purchases this book. Call 1-800-686-2237 and order a copy today. It's critical that the public be made aware of the system. Call and order your copy today at 1-800-686-2237. That's 1-800-686-2237.
In the New World Order's war against humanity, Barack Obama is the tip of the spear.
We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well-funded.
The Obama deception completely destroys the myth that Obama is working for the best interest of the American people.
Well, Obama's already fudging. He's fudged since day one in this election.
If you have a demagogue with a fanatical mass movement of personality cultists who is imposing the program of a group of extreme bankers and finance oligarchs, that's fascist.
It's not about left or right. It's about a one-world government. This film documents who Obama works for, the lies he has told, and his real agenda. Get your copy of The Obama Deception today at Infowars.com or download it in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv. The Obama Deception. The people strike back.
You worry. If you don't understand the situation. Hi, summer's coming, and now's the time to learn self-sufficiency. If you're going to eat from nature's bounty of wild edible plants, remember, there's a learning curve. Experience is the best teacher, but that means time. To speed it up, you'll need to build on the wisdom of a teacher who has lived it. Author Linda Runyon is that teacher. Her Wild Food Knowledge Package is the crash course. The DVD gives you a 3-hour overview of her world directly from her. The book gives you an in-depth reference with all of the insider know-how you'll ever need. And her wild cards are your portable summary and cheat sheet for your fieldwork. This 3-pronged learning system will take you from spectator to scholar to gourmet survivalist in weeks, not years. Folks, I can vouch that Linda's the real deal. She's my mom, and I watched her do it. So go to ofthefield.com or call 888-51-EAT-FREE. Start now. Knowledge is power. Better take action. I think a storm's coming.
No rest for the wicked. I was just on 93.7 KLBJ with Charlie Hodge for my weekly Freedom Nugget during that 4-minute break, during the long break we do once an hour. Okay, I want to break down the economy. I want to break down what's actually happening, the police state, and then later, I'll do this at 2, after Kevin Trudeau leaves us. So I found out he's a big fan of PrisonPlanet.tv subscriber. How crazy is that? We actually got contacted through their folks, so I look forward to having him on. And then Billionaire Club in bid to curb overpopulation. America's richest people meet to discuss ways of tackling a disastrous environmental, social, and industrial threat. The group told the Times of London to call them the Good Group. The Good Witch. Glinda the Good Witch. But when the moon comes up, they go, and turn into the Bad Witch. And in this article, it says, why did all the secrecy? They wanted to speak rich to rich without worrying. Anything they said would end up in the newspapers, painting them as alternative world government. Because, see, there's a world government. They don't want to be known as the alternative world government. See, they love these little flippant comments that they think the slaves won't get the subtlety to because they've dumbed down the language so much, as Daniel Estlin was talking about earlier. So we're going to go over that and how it ties in with meeting of America's richest. ABC News lied last week and didn't tell the truth. They said it was about helping the poor. I guess killing them means helping them. ABC News reports on secret meeting of the rich, yet ignores Bilderberg completely. The rich get tougher. Shh. It was a secret. That's out of the New York Times. Then who? World Health Organization urges hospitals to join climate change battle. You can't have these expensive, nice hospitals. It's bad for the earth. Literally, that's Reuters. Queensland fluoride overdose. Info wrong again. The government put too much fluoride in the water. And too much, any of it's bad. And I have all these articles where John Hopkins and the Mayo Clinic and others report that you're 2.9 times more likely to get sick and die of the flu or go to the hospital if you take the flu shot. Of course, that's just the Mayo Clinic. Don't listen to them. So we'll be going over all of that because it's so important coming up. Ron Paul joins us every 4 weeks. He's scheduled to be joining us next week sometime. We're nailing that down because his schedule's so fluid. But when he gets on, it's now over 180 sponsors. Last Friday it was 179. It's over 180. We're nailing down those final numbers. This is very exciting. But what's freaking me out is, and it's got to be COINTELPRO, or just the mass mental illness out there on the internet that Estlin was talking about, and I have noticed. There were hundreds and hundreds of comments on the article Kurt Nimmo wrote Saturday. Guy's working 7 days a week because he's got such passion. Doesn't have to, he just does. And he wrote an article about this, and I appreciate him doing that. And there were hundreds of comments, and about half of them were saying, oh, this is just a setup to get rid of the Fed and set up a new global system. Oh, they'll never get the audit. There's no point. I mean, just defeatist attitude. No, the Fed doesn't want to be audited. The Fed has said it's above the law and can't be audited, which is kind of like a trick. It's saying, don't shoot me. I'm bulletproof. And you shoot the person and they're not bulletproof. It's a mind game. Or it's like somebody pouring gasoline on themselves and saying, I can't burn. You throw a match to them, they will burn. That's my little parable about the Federal Reserve. No, they don't want to be audited. Ron Paul gets all sorts of death threats. He has admitted he's in danger doing this. Ron Paul is the real deal, and he's a symbol of liberty and freedom. That's why they tried to destroy him. They couldn't destroy him, so now they're trying to co-opt his message, and it's not working for him either. They know we're the majority. They know that we're waking up, and he's a figurehead, an intelligent, dynamic figurehead, but all of us that are prominent are figureheads. And they're probably building him up to later try to destroy him, but he's so gentlemanly and so calm and focused, it's very hard for them to do, though they've tried. So they know that the majority of activist groups on campuses are now patriots, /Ron Paul, /InfoWarriors. They know that we're rising. And, that's what Bilderberg came out 2 years ago, and I got confirmed this from Estlin and Tucker. We're really worried about Paul, and they're more worried today. And they're worried about us and the state sovereignty movement. So they spin it as states want to violently secede. No, we're declaring our 9th and 10th Amendment, saying the feds aren't over the states in every issue. 10th and 9th Amendment, read it. So they always want to radicalize things. And there's all these solutions. But for everybody out there, ladies and gentlemen, the Federal Reserve is the regional arm of the global banking system. We need to audit it and expose it and go after it. Then the other spin is, well, it's already been audited. No, they passed a law to audit how many desks it has, how many pencils it has, but not the money or where the money goes or what they do with it. And the Federal Reserve's on record in front of Congress and saying we're not going to tell you where the money went. So anybody saying that they tell you where the money goes is a liar. So let's get positive here and move forward, or at least ignore the disinformation agents. This is a positive thing to audit the Fed, to point out that it's never been audited. That's positive in and of itself.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Hello, friends. This is Alex Jones. I've told you for a long time it's important to be self-sufficient, and today that's more important than ever. We need to be independent, and food and water is the key. You'll never have to stand in a bread line if you have your own bread. You'll never have to go to the Superdome and beg for FEMA to take care of your family in any emergency if you simply prepare. No one is going to take care of your family in the final equation but you. You know eFoodsDirect.com is still able to ship storable food that's safe from E. coli, salmonella, genetic alteration, or Chinese imports, and they do it at almost half the cost of last year's grocery prices. Call 1-800-409-5633 or on the web, go to eFoodsDirect.com. Visit eFoodsDirect.com and look over the fine list of high-quality, freeze-dried, and dehydrated foods they have to offer. Watch the free videos, look at their online catalog, or give them a call at 1-800-409-5633. Again, 800-409-5633 or on the web at eFoodsDirect.com. Take action today. The first step is getting storable food.
In the New World Order's war against humanity, Barack Obama is the tip of the spear.
We've got to give them a stake in creating the kind of world order that I think all of us would like to see.
The Obama deception completely destroys the myth that Obama is working for the best interest of the American people.
Well, Obama's already fudging. He's fudged since day one in this election.
If you have a demagogue with a fanatic